Good day, dear friends. In today's video, let's discuss why there are so many gods in Hinduism. Many people ask this question, especially non-Hindus have this question, and that is actually really a valid question. Why do we have so many gods in Hinduism? And here is my answer. The simple, straightforward answer is no, we do not have many gods in Hinduism. What we have is we have one Bhagavan and many Devathas in Hinduism. Devathas is a Sanskrit term and is the same term that is used in many Indian languages. By wrongly translating Devatha as God, we got into this trouble. Okay, so why not why Devatha is not a god? First, who is a god, right? The term in English, God, this term in English has a context, and that context is Christianity. Okay, terms do not come out of vacuum in any language. If the vocabulary comes, there is a past context to it. So in English, the word God means Christian God. In Christianity, you have God Jehovah who created this whole creation in 6 days, etc. There are all these stories around it. So if you use the God term as it is on another language and then replace some other term in another language with God, as translate it as some completely different concept of God, naturally there will be framework collision and there will be confusion, and that's why they're ridiculed, because in their mind there is only one God. But in Hinduism there are Devathas. There are not many gods or anything. God is a completely alien term to Hinduism. We don't have that concept at all. Nearest is Bhagavan. Even Bhagavan is slightly different from Christian God. So I'll tell you quickly the difference between Bhagavan and Devatha. Okay, so let's stop using this term God to mean Devatha. Okay, see, there is a concept of karma in Hinduism. It's not there in English because it is not there in Abrahamic religion. So you could not translate karma. So you are using it as it is in English, karma. Same goes with yoga. We do not have the concept of yoga. Now, I'm not talking about physical exercise part of yoga. Yoga is union with Bhagavan or Paramatma. So that concept is not there. So we did not translate yoga. We are using the Sanskrit term as it is in English. Let's do the same thing. Let's use the Sanskrit term as it is, the Devathas in English. So if anybody asks, why do we have gods? No, we don't have gods. We have Devathas. Over, finished. Argument is finished, because Devathas is not God. Right? So Bhagavan is that super consciousness that's present before creation, during creation, and after creation. It's always there. It's supreme consciousness. Only in the presence of consciousness the creation happens, and the creation maintains, and the creation ends. That's why the Bhagavan, the supreme consciousness, is present in every form in the creation, because only in the presence of that supreme consciousness this creation can happen. So it's somehow similar, akin to quantum physics, if you know the observer effect in quantum physics. Something like that. It's not exactly, it's even beyond that. Okay, so there is this Bhagavan, but because we can see, we know, we are aware as Hindus that this consciousness, Bhagavan, is present in every form. We are able to see divinity through the form also. For example, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and Ramana Maharshi. They both are enlightened beings. They have realized Bhagavan. They have understood they lived it. They've experienced Bhagavan or Paramatma, the supreme consciousness. But Ramakrishna Paramahamsa approached Bhagavan through Kali Upasana. Kali is one of the Devathas, and he used to pray to her form. She is a female Devatha, not God. I'm intentionally using the term Devatha. See that she's a female Devatha. So he realized, it was some time ago, he realized Bhagavan through Kali Upasana. And similarly, Ramana Maharshi, he realized Bhagavan, the Nirguna Nirakara, means formless consciousness, directly without any Devatas assistance. So both are same. We are not belittling Ramana Maharshi, or we are not belittling Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. We accept both of them as enlightened beings, and both their approaches are absolutely, totally valid in Hinduism, but to the approach to spirituality. Now, um now I so now let me give you some examples of these devatas, right? If devata is not god, then who is a devata? Examples of devatas include, but not limited to, say, Ashtadikpalakas means there are 8 devatas responsible for 8 different directions, like north, south, east, west, etc. And those devatas are, you may have heard some of these terms like Indra, Varuna, Yama, Isha, Agni, etc. And similarly, we have Navagrahas, representing the divine energy of the 9 celestial bodies in the planetary system. Yes, including sun and moon. If sun and moon are not divine, then what is divine? Without sun and moon, there is no earth. Without earth, there is no humanity, or there is nothing there. At least from what our existence doesn't make any sense. So we do see divinity in the celestial bodies, and we do pray to that divinity. We do not pray to the celestial bodies, we pray to the divinity within that celestial bodies, right? So, and then we do have those navagrahas in the temples, and there is actually scientific purpose for having those, which I'll explain it later. And similarly, we have Devatha for wealth, Lakshmi. We have Devatha for education, Saraswati. We have Devatha for fertility, like Santana Venugopala Swami, etc. And there are different levels of devatas also. Grama devata means this is a devata for village. Kula devata means like lineage. For your family lineage, you have a devata. That can be one of the famous devatas also. And Ishta devata means it's your personal devata. So these are all devatas that where we are able to see the divinity and realize Bhagavan through them. So is there only spiritual purpose? Okay, now the another question is, oh, so Hindus pray to all these stones, random stone. No, that is not true. Again, if anybody asks these ignorant questions, we have to answer. We should not shut our mouth and they are not going to understand. They're not stupids, okay? Because they are ignorant, they are asking these questions, and we should answer them, right? We should give them right answers. Do we really pray to every random stone? Absolutely not. So once a sculptor makes a form either out of a stone or a bronze or a silver or a gold, and that form representing one of the devatas like Hanuman, Ganesha, Saraswati, Ellamma, and other Grama devatas, etc. What happens is we choose a place as per Vastu Shastra. Vastu Shastra is the science of architecture in India. It is very scientific. It is still in use. Okay, Indians, we are not stupid. Okay, we are very well educated. If we are still using Vastu Shastra, we know what we are doing. Vastu Shastra is a very valid architectural science of architecture and is still in use. And same goes with Jyotisha Shastra. Jyotisha Shastra is based on Khagula Shastra, means astronomy. So we choose an auspicious time based on Jyotisha Shastra, which is again based on astronomy. So that is called Muhurta. Again, Indians, we are not stupid. If we are still using Muhurta and all these concepts, we know exactly what we are doing. We know what is Thidi. Thidi is a time that is based on both the sun's and the moon's movement. Okay, we know exactly what we are doing. We're not stupids. Okay, don't underestimate us, and don't think that we are uncivilized because we are following Muhurta and Vastu Shastra and all these things. And similarly, using Muhurta, we find the right auspicious time. And then similarly, using Agama Shastra, which is this rituals and all that, we do invite divinity into that sculpture. Statue on an auspicious time, put it in an auspicious place using Vedic rituals. Then only that sculpture becomes a devata. Then only she or he gets the pujas, and it can even be it. Like we do see divinity in say Bhairava, which is a form of dog, Varaha, which is a form of pig, devata in the form of the pig, and then we have other non humans also in devatas, and we even have prayers for rivers, trees, mountains, etc., which is very good. Like Ganga Harati, and Ganga is a big river, and then giving Harati, like praying to. If we cannot say divinity in water, if we cannot see divinity in trees, where else can we see? Because they are the basis for life. If we are breathing, if we are eating, if we are alive, that is because of these trees. That, yes, of course, Bhagavan has in the presence of Bhagavan, that creation happened. That doesn't mean that we should ignore trees, we should ignore mountains and rivers, and we should keep saying that only consciousness is there, and then only consciousness should get the all the attention. That is not true. We should have, because we respect the environment so much. Hinduism is an by default environmentally friendly. We don't need environmental activists going around giving lectures everywhere, because it's part of Hinduism, that environmentalism. Because if you can see divinity in the environment, can you destroy it rudely? Right? You can't do it. So that's the whole point of if you see divinity, then you will have rituals around it, you will have festivals around it, you will have respect around it, and the generation by generation will learn about it. You don't need big time organizations and charities and going around giving lectures as though rest of the people are idiots and these are the only enlightened beings understanding environment. Hello, excuse me. Pagan religions do have a lot of respect for environment, and they do have okay. If our ignorance should not be the basis for ridiculing others. Okay, so if anybody ignorantly asks these silly questions, please do give them answers rather than fighting or arguing or anything. Okay, now finally, are there other functional benefits to Devathas? Yes, there are many functional benefits to having this concept of many Devathas, because for each different subject, we can have a Devatha associated. For example, we have Dhanvantri, who is the founder of Ayurveda. Ayurveda is the Indian medical system, which is still in use again. Okay, and then people are realizing now the benefits of Ayurveda. Again, once again, it is like a cycle, right? We make fools of ourselves. And then we lose Ayurveda knowledge, and then again we realize, oh my God, no, Ayurveda actually works, so let's go back. So now people are realizing this Ayurveda, and Dhanvantri is the founder of Ayurveda, and Dhanvantri gets this is seen as a Devatha, and then there are Dhanvantri temples. So by having separate temples like that, you can teach the subject of Ayurveda. You will have a lot of respect, right? If you see divinity in a particular subject, you will give respect to it, and you will learn it. You will make sure that it's not dying, it's not ridiculed. Can you ridicule a Devatha? No, because you see divinity. Similarly, there are Devathas for Shakti, that is power, energy. Again, there is no equivalent term for, because Shakti in English, for Kali Mata, for Durga, etc. And that gives you power, that gives you valor, that gives you the confidence to achieve anything in life. And so and there are Devathas, Navagrahas, and there is this sundial in Konark temple, where you can using astronomic, you can still tell time to the minute. See, it was built hundreds of years ago. See how advanced it is, that the clocks that we are making today, they hardly are there for 20 years, 30 years. They don't work after that. But this sundial, it is still working after hundreds of years. It is in a stone form. I mean, because it is built using the astronomical calculation. It's built using the sun's movement, by understanding the sun's movement. So it's very astronomically accurate. So when you have so many concepts, so many Devathas, you can have so many structures around it, and then you can transmit the knowledge, scientific knowledge, subject knowledge. And similarly, because you have so many Devathas, you can have so many stories around it, which will again flourish the creativity, flourish the arts, right? If you have, then naturally there will be many dance forms associated, many songs associated, many music forms associated with the different Devathas. So arts flourish, and most importantly, economy flourishes, because you have so many rituals, you have festivals, and then, okay, I'm not, this region of India may not be very well connected with this Devatha, but they may be connected with other Devathas, so they will have a festival associated with you, with that Devatha. You cannot force one Devatha throughout the whole such a huge geography, right? If each geography will have its own its own characteristics, and accordingly Devathas are there based on those characteristics, and accordingly festivals are created around it, rituals are created around it, and that will itself flourish the economy. That will make sure that the people are living in harmony, because they have a connecting factor. This Devatha concept is their connecting factor, because just because Devatha is there, you're not automatically connected, because you have rituals around it, and then you have so all these plumbers and all these blacksmiths, goldsmiths, and all that, they do get job. works, and because you buy new clothes, so this clothing industry flourishes. So like that, economy also flourishes. I'll talk more about it, but if you want to learn more about the science and the architecture behind temples, please do watch Praveen Mohan's videos on YouTube, and you will really like them. I think he's a mechanical engineer. He went from India to US, and then he came back, and then he's doing a lot of research by himself into this architecture and the history of these temples. You will be amazed if you look at his videos. Okay, I hope you understand now that we have many Devathas in Hinduism, and Devatha is wrongly translated as God. Let's stop using this term God to mean Devatha. Devatha is Devatha. Let's not translate it. Okay, I hope you like this video. And if you want to get more like consultation for me regarding to Ayurveda or Jyotish, you can contact me via admin@vijisayurveda.com. That's my email. Or you can direct message me via Instagram using my Instagram handle. There you can see. Okay, thanks a lot. And if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe.